Alright, today we're talking about multi-step inequalities. So, our essential questions are, can you use addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division to solve inequalities? Can you graph the solution of an inequality? Can you write and solve an inequality that represents a real-world problem? And can you solve and graph multi-step inequalities? To solve a multi-step inequality, we follow the same rules as solving multi-step equations. So, let's remind ourselves quickly of what those rules are. We first want to remove all grouping symbols. Or distribute. If possible. The next thing we definitely want to do is combine like terms. And then we're going to remove addition and subtraction parts of the problem. And finally, we're going to remove multiplication and division parts of the problem. Also remember, if you multiply or divide by a negative, the inequality flips. So only multiplying or dividing by a negative makes my inequality flip in the other direction. Alright, let's try some problems. First we have y divided by negative 6 plus 7 is less than 9. So we have no grouping symbols. We don't have like terms that are on the same side of the inequality. So we can remove the addition and subtraction by subtracting 7 from both sides. So I have y divided by negative 6 equals 2. Multiply by negative 6. And I get I'm multiplied by a negative. This number doesn't count when we're talking about the negatives. Only this one that we're writing. So I multiplied by a negative, which means my inequality flips. 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. And so to graph that, I would have negative 12. And I would have an open dot because there's no equal sign. And y is greater than negative 12. Greater is to the right. Alright, let's take a look at the next one. 4b minus 1 is less than 7. I would add 1 on both sides. So 4b is less than 8. Divide by 4 is a positive. This is a positive, so I don't do anything to my inequality. B is less than 4. So when I go to graph it, I have an open dot on the 4 because there's no equal sign, and B is less than, which is to the left. on the last one, we should subtract 8 from both sides. So 9c is greater than or equal to negative 36. Divide by 9. I'm dividing by a positive, so nothing changes. C is greater than or equal to negative 4. Again, this number doesn't count. It's already there. It's only whatever we're doing to the problem. So we can't flip our inequality. And when we go to graph it, we would have a closed dot on the 4 because of the equal sign. And C is greater, which goes to the right. Okay, turn the page. Sometimes we will have inequalities with no solution. And so that's going to look like this. So we would first always distribute. So I would have 8x minus 3 is greater than 8x plus 12. And I would subtract 8x to combine my like terms. And those both cancel out and make 0, so I'm left with negative 3 is greater than 12, which is certainly not true. So there is no solution. Same as before, if it comes out to be not true, there's no solution. Let's take a look at the next one. I want to distribute first. 2k minus 10 is less than 2k plus 5. I would subtract 2k from both sides to combine my like terms. Negative 10 is less than 5. This is true. Negative 10 is less than 5. So there would be infinite solutions. No matter what number I fill in for k, it'll come out correct because negative 10 is always going to be less than 5. And let's take a look at this last example. I would distribute first. So negative 12n plus 4 is greater than negative 12n plus 5.2. I would add 12n. 4 is greater than 5.2. Not true. So we have no solution. Alright, some real life applications here. You need a mean score of at least 90 to advance to the next round of a trivia game. So whatever we have over here, we need it to be at least 90. It could equal 90 or it could be greater than 90. So far your scores are 95, 91, 77, 89, and then we have a fifth game to get that mean score of 90. So because we're doing a mean problem, this is the same as the ones we had done before. We're going to multiply by 5. So 95 plus 91 plus 77 plus 89 gives us 352 plus x is greater than or equal to 450. Subtract 352. X has to be greater than or equal to 98 to advance. So they're going to have a really, really stellar score. They haven't had a score that good, so might not advance. Alright, the last one. What if you needed a mean score of at least 88 to advance to the next round of the trivia game? What do you need on the fifth game to advance? So the same thing, except I already found out that this was 352 plus x. We're still trying to find for the fifth game. And this time we need a mean score of 88. So I would multiply by 5. I get 352 plus x is greater than or equal to 440. Subtract 352. X is greater than or equal to 88, which is more likely to get them to advance. Alright, you have 5 problems to try for homework. I have given you graphs to graph your solutions on as well. Don't forget open dot, close dot, and flip your inequality if you multiply or divide by a negative. Alright, have a great night.